Grizz here. So today, I just want to do a quick little video talking about a couple of cool things I got here. So first, everybody recognizes this, I'm sure. This is a classic TL29. This one's heavily worn. Got the dark wood handles. I believe it's oak or something like that. Maybe ebony. I would assume like dark, like stained oak. I'm sure Tobias or somebody could correct me on that. Super cool. I don't know what's up with this. I don't know if this was fixed or what's going on here. Or if the bail could be moved. I really can't tell. But anyway, it's got a nickel silver plaque with the TL29 in it rather than it engraved in the handles. We've got our opening layer, which is a flathead screwdriver. Because back when these first were being made, flathead screws were the dominant fashion. Phillips screws didn't really start to come into play until the 1930s. Of course, up in Canada, they had the Robertson, which I believe is a superior driver. But I digress. And yeah, so this thing is heavily worn. This probably, I believe, would have had a curved area here for wire, for cable stripping. This curve up here, people try to say is for stripping the jackets off. It's not. It's just for, to make it easier to get to the tang, or the nail nick on the main blade. It's got a spacer lock that's made of, I guess, brass. Probably used to say press here on it to unlock or something like that. But it still works. Half stop. Very cool. Then we've got the main blade. This is heavily worn out. There's like no strength to it. What it is, the tang is so worn that it barely even pushes the spring anymore. So there's no real way to fix that except put a thicker spring in it. But it's not even, there's no point in doing that. It has a Camillus 4-line tang stamp. Camillus Cutlery Co. You're not going to be able to see it. I can barely see it. It says Camillus Cutlery Co., Camillus, New York, USA. And according to allaboutpocketknives.com, it dates from the early 1930s to the mid-1940s. So that would put this as a World War II issue knife. So that's super cool. This very likely was carried by a signal corpsman in World War II. And the Signal Corps was basically a branch of the Army Corps of Engineers, I believe, that went out and set up radio towers and telegraph and all kinds of electrical equipment, generators. They just did all the wiring stuff and all kinds of mechanical stuff for the military. That was important to get stuff done because they needed to be able to communicate. They needed power, and these are the guys who brought it to them. But this knife did not come alone. I'm sure you could buy it alone, but normally it came in a kit. The kit was called TL29, and it included a pair of lineman's pliers, also called side cutters. And why are they called side cutters? Well, because the cutting is on the side of the head, not in the center, not at the tip. It's on the side. It's also got this knurled edge at the top, and you'll notice these pliers never meet. Well, that's because these two, I think it's anvil action. These two types of anvil cutters have to meet. If they don't meet, because the tip meets and this wears out, then you're going to have a hard time cutting wires. So, and the thing is, you're not gripping. The main thing you use this for is to twist wires together. That's the #1 thing you'll use these pliers for. That and as a hammer. But ask any electrician, and they use their linemen's as a hammer. But these are the Weymouth Corporation, USA 8, because this is an 8-inch size linemen's. Pawtucket, Rhode Island, TL107. That was the part number for these pliers. Later, I have an example of these pliers, but I don't have them here. This is a modern set of like Klein pliers that I actually used for several years. And a major upgrade they did is that, you know, modern pliers, they figured out if you move this rivet closer to the blades, you get much more leverage. So besides being about 1 inch longer, they also have a rivet that's closer. And to complete the package is something I don't have. They came in a leather sheath. I mean, I could easily find one. Eventually, I'll get one and put it together and put a decent set together just because I think it's cool. But yeah, the TL33 kit came with the pliers and this. And basically, with those two tools, a coreman or a lineman or electrician could do probably 95% of all the jobs they needed to do. Nowadays, there's a lot more equipment and a lot more specialized tools. But back then, you basically had, you know, you were cutting wire and screwing down terminals, and that was it. Even your splices, if they weren't soldered or taped together, they were bolt-together splices that were screwed down or bolted together. So, yeah, so that you could do pretty much all the work you needed to do with just these two little tools. If you needed to staple a wire to a pole or something, you could bash that staple in with the pliers. They're very heavy. So that's super cool. These are both World War II era tools. So it's in all likelihood, both of these tools served during World War II. And I just think that's pretty neat. So this is a short one. I just wanted to show something a little different. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. PD Grizz out.